As a brain doctor, I need you to understand a reality that too many people overlook. Stroke is not just the third leading cause of death after cancer and heart disease. It is also one of the most common reasons older adults lose their independence. Every 45 seconds somewhere in the world, a person suffers a stroke. And every 3 minutes, a life is lost to this condition. In the United States alone, hundreds of thousands face new or recurrent strokes each year. And in countries like Vietnam, the numbers among older adults are equally alarming. What makes strokes so dangerous is how suddenly it arrives. One moment you may be speaking, walking, or eating normally, and the next you may find yourself unable to move one side of your body, unable to speak, or even unconscious. When blood flow to the brain is blocked, or when a vessel ruptures, brain cells begin to die within minutes. And with each passing moment, the damage spreads. Survivors often face paralysis, memory loss, or speech problems that permanently change their lives. Yet the truth is that strokes rarely happen without cause. In most cases, years of silent damage from hidden conditions or unhealthy habits create the perfect storm that ends in a sudden attack. High blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, aneurysms, and hardened arteries are among the most common triggers, and they are especially dangerous after the age of 60. In this video, I will reveal the 5 leading triggers of stroke that every senior must recognize. Understanding these risks is the first step to preventing disaster and protecting your future. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. Have you or someone close to you ever experienced sudden dizziness, numbness, or slurred speech, even if it lasted only a few minutes? Share your story in the comments, because your experience could help someone else recognize a warning before it is too late. 1. Stroke caused by high blood pressure. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, and for good reason. It is the single most powerful trigger of stroke in older adults, particularly the type known as hemorrhagic stroke, where a blood vessel in the brain suddenly bursts and bleeds. The frightening truth is that many people with high blood pressure feel perfectly fine. There may be no pain, no discomfort, nothing to signal that their arteries are under dangerous strain. Yet, day by day, the constant pressure wears down the walls of the vessels, making them brittle and more likely to rupture. Statistics show that nearly 1/3 of strokes in the elderly are directly linked to long-term hypertension, and the risk grows with every year that blood pressure remains uncontrolled. Think of your arteries as flexible tubes designed to carry blood smoothly. When pressure inside those tubes stays high for too long, tiny cracks and weaknesses form. Eventually, one of those weak spots gives way, flooding part of the brain with blood. The result can be catastrophic, leading to sudden paralysis, loss of speech, or death within minutes. This is why controlling blood pressure is not a matter of comfort. It is a matter of survival. Regular monitoring is essential. Many people only check their blood pressure when they feel unwell, but by then, damage may already be happening. At home, blood pressure monitors are affordable and provide valuable information. Recording your numbers and sharing them with your doctor allows adjustments in medication or lifestyle before a crisis occurs. Lifestyle choices also play a critical role. A diet high in salt is one of the quickest ways to push blood pressure upward. Processed foods, canned soups, and salty snacks all contribute to this hidden danger. Reducing salt, eating more fruits and vegetables, and choosing whole grains and lean proteins can bring pressure down naturally. Exercise strengthens the heart and improves circulation. helping it pump more efficiently without straining vessels. Even light activities such as walking, stretching, or gardening can make a significant difference when practiced regularly. Stress management is equally important, since chronic stress releases hormones that tighten arteries and drive blood pressure higher. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, or gentle yoga can calm the body and reduce pressure on the brain's delicate vessels. Medication, when prescribed, should be taken consistently. Skipping doses or stopping without medical advice is extremely risky. Many strokes occur because patients underestimate the importance of staying on treatment once they begin to feel better. Remember, high blood pressure rarely announces itself with symptoms. The first warning may be a devastating stroke. That is why awareness, regular monitoring, healthy habits, and proper medical care are your strongest defenses. Treating blood pressure as an enemy to be managed every day is one of the most effective ways to protect your brain, your independence, and your life. 2. Stroke linked to heart disease. The heart and the brain are deeply connected. And when the heart is not working properly, the brain is often the first organ to suffer. Many strokes in older adults are triggered by underlying heart disease. Conditions such as atrial fibrillation, heart valve problems, or weakened heart muscle after a heart attack create the perfect environment for dangerous clots to form inside the heart. Once a clot breaks free, it can travel through the bloodstream and lodge in an artery supplying the brain within minutes. Blood flow is blocked and brain tissue begins to die. This type of stroke is often sudden and severe, leaving little time to react. Atrial fibrillation, a condition where the heart beats irregularly, is one of the most common culprits. Instead of pumping blood in a strong, steady rhythm, the upper chambers of the heart quiver and allow blood to pool. Stagnant blood is more likely to form clots, which then become ticking time bombs waiting to strike the brain. Valve diseases such as narrowing or leakage also increase the risk by disturbing normal blood flow and encouraging clot formation. Even heart failure, where the heart becomes too weak to pump effectively, raises stroke risk because blood moves sluggishly and can clot more easily. Recognizing the connection between heart disease and stroke is critical for prevention. Many people treat their heart condition and their brain health as separate issues, but they are two sides of the same problem. If you have atrial fibrillation, heart valve disease, or a history of heart attack, you must take extra precautions. This includes taking prescribed blood thinning medications exactly as directed, since these drugs reduce the chance of clots forming and traveling to the brain. Lifestyle choices once again play a key role. Controlling blood pressure, maintaining healthy cholesterol levels, and staying physically active all protect both the heart and the brain. Regular checkups with a cardiologist are especially important for seniors with known heart conditions. Simple tests such as electrocardiograms and echocardiograms can detect irregular rhythms or structural problems before they lead to stroke. Warning signs should never be ignored. Episodes of rapid heartbeat, chest pain, shortness of breath, or sudden fatigue may all point to underlying heart disease. Seeking prompt medical attention can prevent these issues from escalating into a stroke. Think of the heart as the pump that supplies life to the brain. If the pump fails or allows clots to form, the brain quickly pays the price. Protecting your heart is therefore one of the most powerful ways to protect your brain. Treat every irregular heartbeat, every symptom, and every diagnosis seriously. With proper care and attention, many strokes linked to heart disease can be prevented, giving you more years of strength, clarity, and independence. 3. Stroke related to diabetes. Diabetes is often thought of as a disease that only affects blood sugar. But in reality, it damages the entire vascular system, including the delicate vessels that feed the brain. Over time, high levels of glucose in the blood cause inflammation and scarring along artery walls. These damaged vessels become narrower and less flexible, making it easier for clots to form and harder for blood to flow freely. For older adults, this creates a dangerous pathway leading directly to stroke. In fact, people with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke compared to those without the condition. The reason is not only the vessel damage, but also the way diabetes interacts with other risk factors. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity often accompany diabetes, and together they magnify the danger. The combination thickens blood, increases clotting, and strains the heart, creating the perfect storm that can cut off blood supply to the brain at any moment. Another complication of diabetes is the damage to small blood vessels, called microvascular disease. When these tiny vessels become blocked or weakened, brain tissue is deprived of nutrients and oxygen, raising the chance of both ischemic strokes caused by clots and hemorrhagic strokes caused by vessel rupture. The threat does not end there. Diabetes also alters the way blood platelets stick together, making clots more likely to form quickly and unpredictably. This is why even short episodes of dizziness, blurred vision, or numbness in a diabetic patient should be treated as urgent warnings. The good news is that controlling diabetes can significantly reduce stroke risk. Monitoring blood sugar daily, following medical advice on diet and medication, and attending regular checkups with your doctor are essential steps. A balanced diet rich in whole grains, vegetables, lean proteins, and limited sugar intake helps maintain stable glucose levels. Exercise not only improves insulin sensitivity, but also strengthens the heart and arteries, offering double protection against stroke. Medications such as insulin or oral agents should never be skipped, even when blood sugar seems stable. Consistency is the key to preventing the silent damage that builds over years. Managing cholesterol and blood pressure is also vital, since these conditions are closely linked with diabetes and together accelerate stroke risk. Education and awareness play an important role as well. Many people underestimate diabetes because its symptoms can feel manageable day to day, but the long-term damage is relentless if left unchecked. Think of diabetes as a slow-moving current that erodes the riverbank. You may not see the destruction at first, but eventually the ground gives way. By controlling blood sugar and addressing the related risks, you reinforce the banks and protect the brain from disaster. Prevention here is not only possible, it is life-saving. 4. Stroke caused by aneurysms and vessel ruptures. Among the most frightening causes of stroke in older adults are aneurysms and vessel malformations that suddenly rupture. An aneurysm is a weak spot in the wall of an artery that bulges outward, much like a balloon slowly filling with air. For years, it may remain unnoticed, causing no symptoms at all. Yet with time, pressure builds, the walls thin, and eventually the balloon bursts. When that happens inside the brain, blood pours into the surrounding tissue, creating a hemorrhagic stroke that can be instantly fatal. The most common location for aneurysms is at the base of the brain in an area known to doctors as the Circle of Willis. When an aneurysm in this region ruptures, it often causes what patients describe as the worst headache of their life. A sudden thunderclap pain, accompanied by nausea, vomiting, and loss of consciousness. Immediate emergency care is the only chance for survival. And even then, lasting disabilities are common. Vessel ruptures are not always limited to aneurysms. Some people are born with abnormal tangles of blood vessels called arteriovenous malformations. In these structures, arteries connect directly to veins without passing through the normal network of tiny capillaries. This creates areas of high pressure that can eventually burst. When they do, massive bleeding into the brain can occur, often in people who never even knew they carried the abnormality. Age makes these risks even greater. As vessel walls lose strength and years of high blood pressure, smoking, or poor health accelerate their breakdown. The tragedy is that many individuals live unaware of the silent threat until it explodes without warning. Preventing stroke from aneurysms and ruptures requires both vigilance and proactive care. Regular health checkups are essential, especially for those with a family history of aneurysms or unexplained sudden deaths. Imaging tests such as MRI or CT scans can sometimes reveal weak vessels before they rupture. Blood pressure control is critical, since high pressure places constant strain on fragile vessel walls. Quitting smoking, limiting alcohol, and maintaining a healthy weight all reduce the forces that drive aneurysms toward rupture. When aneurysms are discovered early, surgery or minimally invasive procedures can reinforce or seal the weak spot, preventing disaster. The key is awareness. Do not ignore sudden severe headaches, especially if they are different from anything you have felt before. Treat them as red alarms demanding immediate medical attention. Think of an aneurysm as a hidden time bomb inside the brain. You may not hear it ticking, but if left unchecked, it can explode without mercy. Protecting your vessels through healthy living and timely medical care is the only way to defuse that threat and preserve your future. 5. Stroke, caused by atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis, also known as hardening of the arteries, is one of the most common and dangerous triggers of stroke in older adults. Over time, fats, cholesterol, and other substances build up inside the walls of arteries, forming deposits known as plaques. These plaques slowly narrow the vessel, reducing the smooth flow of blood. The surface of a plaque can also rupture, exposing its contents to the bloodstream and causing a clot to form. When this clot blocks an artery that carries blood to the brain, the result is an ischemic stroke. The process often begins silently, decades earlier, fueled by unhealthy diets, lack of exercise, smoking, diabetes, and high blood pressure. By the time symptoms appear, the arteries may already be severely narrowed. Atherosclerosis does not affect only one part of the body. It can damage coronary arteries in the heart, carotid arteries in the neck, and cerebral arteries in the brain, all of which are critical for life. When the carotid arteries are clogged, the brain receives less oxygen, leading to dizziness, confusion, or transient ischemic attacks that serve as warnings of a major stroke ahead. For many older adults, this condition becomes a ticking clock, steadily raising the risk of sudden brain damage. Prevention and management of atherosclerosis require both lifestyle changes and medical care. Diet plays a crucial role, reducing saturated fats, avoiding processed foods, and choosing more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains can lower cholesterol and slow plaque formation. Regular physical activity improves circulation and keeps vessels more flexible, helping prevent new blockages. Quitting smoking is essential, since cigarette toxins directly damage vessel walls and accelerate the buildup of plaque. Managing related conditions is just as important. Diabetes, high cholesterol, and hypertension all make atherosclerosis worse. So, regular checkups and proper medication are vital. Doctors may prescribe cholesterol-lowering drugs or blood thinners to reduce the chance of clots forming on existing plaques. In some cases, procedures to open narrowed arteries may be necessary to restore blood flow. Awareness is the key. Too many people underestimate dizziness, brief episodes of numbness, or slurred speech, believing they will pass. But these are often warning signs that arteries are already blocked. Ignoring them gives the disease more time to progress. Think of your arteries as highways, delivering life to your brain. When debris builds up and traffic slows, one sudden blockage can cause everything to stop. Atherosclerosis is not inevitable with age, but it is common. And without action, it is deadly. By making healthy choices today and staying alert to the signs, you can keep those highways open and protect your brain from the devastating impact of stroke. Prevention: how to protect against stroke in seniors. Understanding the causes of stroke is only the first step. The next and most powerful action is prevention. Stroke may be devastating, but it is not inevitable. By making conscious changes in daily routines, older adults can greatly reduce their risk and protect their independence. The foundation of prevention is adopting a healthier lifestyle. This means maintaining balanced nutrition, consistent rest, and regular physical activity. For those with high blood pressure, hardened arteries, or anemia, treatment must be consistent and complete, rather than delayed or ignored. Exercise is especially important because inactivity weakens the vascular system and raises blood pressure. Even simple daily movements can strengthen blood vessels, improve circulation, and support brain health. Small exercises such as hand gripping, shoulder shrugging, gentle head turning, and massaging the neck are particularly helpful. These movements may seem minor, but they promote blood flow through the arteries in the neck and brain, keeping vessels flexible and reducing the chance of rupture. Each practice requires only a few minutes, but provides lasting benefits when performed regularly. Nutrition is another critical shield against stroke. Filling the diet with vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, fish, eggs, and lean meats provides essential nutrients without the harmful fats that clog arteries. Reducing fried foods, processed snacks, sugary drinks, and excessive animal fat lowers cholesterol and blood pressure, both of which are key drivers of stroke. Drinking plenty of water and healthy beverages such as soy milk or natural juices keeps blood flowing smoothly and prevents dehydration that can thicken the blood. Beyond food and exercise, daily habits play an important role. Seniors should avoid sudden changes in posture, particularly in the morning. Rising too quickly from bed can cause sharp fluctuations in blood pressure, which may trigger fainting or even stroke. A safer approach is to remain lying down for 3 to 5 minutes after waking. Then sit slowly before standing. Exercise routines should also be timed wisely. Older adults with heart disease or hypertension should avoid strenuous activity early in the morning when blood pressure is naturally higher. Afternoon exercise is safer, allowing the cardiovascular system to adjust gradually. Avoiding harmful substances is non-negotiable. Smoking damages arteries and doubles stroke risk, while heavy alcohol use weakens the heart and raises blood pressure. Illicit drugs and unnecessary hormonal medications also place dangerous strain on blood vessels. Eliminating these risks is one of the fastest ways to lower stroke probability. Prevention is not about perfection, but about persistence. Each small adjustment creates stronger defenses against the forces that lead to stroke. Think of prevention as building a protective wall brick by brick. Nutrition, exercise, rest, avoidance of toxins, and safe daily routines each add another layer of strength. Together, they form a barrier that can protect the brain well into later years. Seniors who embrace these habits do not just live longer. They live with greater clarity, independence, and dignity. Doctor's final words. As a brain doctor, my closing message to you is both a warning and a call to action. Stroke is not a random event that strikes without reason. It is the predictable outcome of risks that are ignored for too long. High blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, vessel weaknesses, and hardened arteries may seem like separate problems. But together they create the perfect storm that can suddenly destroy brain function in seconds. What makes this condition so devastating is not only the speed with which it strikes, but also the long-lasting consequences it leaves behind. Paralysis, speech loss, memory decline, and dependence on others are common outcomes even for those who survive. Yet despite these dangers, there is hope. The path to prevention is clear and within your control. By managing blood pressure, caring for your heart, controlling diabetes, monitoring cholesterol, eating healthier, exercising regularly, avoiding tobacco and alcohol, and practicing safe daily routines, you are building strong defenses for your brain. Each of these steps is like adding another lock on the door that stroke would otherwise break through. Do not make the mistake of waiting until symptoms appear. The so-called mini-strokes, brief moments of numbness or slurred speech, are red alarms that disaster may be around the corner. Take them seriously. Seek medical help immediately. And never assume the danger has passed simply because the symptoms faded. Prevention is not about living in fear. It is about living with awareness. It is about valuing your independence, your memory, and your time with loved ones enough to protect them. I urge you to reflect on your daily habits and make changes now. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, because your voice may encourage someone else to act before it is too late. Stroke can take everything in the blink of an eye, but prevention can give you years of strength, clarity, and dignity. The choice is in your hands, and the time to act is today.